All right, guys, so I came a little late. I saw some photos from the auction, but this auction is super, super stacked. We've got a Totem, Tales of the Arabian Nights. We've got a Monster Bash, a Hobbit, Theater of Magic, Attack from Mars, Champion Pub, AC/DC, Fishtails, Elvis, NASCAR, and then you get a little lesser with Street Fighter 2, Stern's Pirates of the Caribbean. Pretty cool game, not great. Great Whirlwind, 2 mid-80s working Williams down there. It's this is the best pinball lineup I've seen in auction maybe in 5 or 7 years. But you've got 5 or 6 of the all-time top 10 or 20 pinballs coming up here in the first 5 or 6. So we're about to see some crazy good prices, crazy high prices, and I'm pretty excited just to see how it all goes. So one of the reasons we won't actually go on this Monster Bash is the remake of Monster Bash has been playing so well and is more reliable. This is an original Monster Bash, and it would just be harder for us to keep up around the same price. So you won't see us on the Monster Bash, but the Totem coming up, the Tales of the Arabian Nights, going to be really interesting.
I'm at 52 and a half, looking at 5 now, 7 and a half, 55, 56, 50 now, $6,000. I'm at 57 and a half, 58, Corey.
No.
58, I'm get it down here to 8. I'm at 57, 50 now, 800, I'm get it down here to 8, 5800.
6 in the
I'm at
church,
57 and a half, I'm get it down here to 58.
Too much.
Beautiful, beautiful,
All right.
beautiful. What are you going to do now? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit
All right, so what we have right here, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, this is a liquidation from a pinball distributor, and these first 2 have been buybacks because the prices aren't high enough, which they are. They're pretty low. That was, I think, 57 for Tales from the Arabian Night. 6 to 6,500 makes a lot more sense. So we might see not a lot of buys actually happen. There's not a lot of money left. Wow, that's so cheap on a Hobbit. 1 second.
5,000. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, that's right. The certificate's in the cabinet, guys. I'm at $5,000 now. 550, 500. I'm getting down here. About 5,500. I'm at 52, 5,000 down, $6,000 down 6. I'm at $6,000 down 2 and a half. $6,000. I'm getting down here. That's 161. I'm at $6,000 down 100. I'm getting down here. That's 6,100.
That's what he wants for it.
I'm at $6,000 down here. That's 61.
No, I'm overstocked on them. That's a good price, though.
I'm at $6,000 down here. That's 161.
No, I really shouldn't buy it.
I'm at $6,000 down 1.
I do have more than one. We're,
6,100. Sold at $6,000.
Saying goodbye.
Theater of Magic. Another nice bid, guys. Very nice. They're gonna get it out here to 5 now, 5 now, 4. And 4 now, 5 now, 45 now, 5. I'm at 45, they're gonna get it out here to 5 now, 5 now, they're gonna get it out here to 45, 5, 55. I sold at $5,000.
Great buyer.
Mercy sakes, live, look at you. Attack from Mars. And right there now, how much here now? $10,000 now, 10 now, $10,000. I'm at 35.
something strange is happening here, and I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure these have all been buybacks, and I don't know. There's no other bidders here that seem to be going on these pins. And I feel like that Hobbit LE I probably should have bought. I unfortunately just ordered 2 other Hobbits, which kept me away from it. But these prices are really low, and I think they're all buybacks. I think there might just not be buyers today. I'm hoping we're able to pick one up here. They've all been just out of our reach, but I think generally the prices are good. These are cheap prices, but they're all just being bought back.
I'm gonna get it down there to 4 now, 4 now, get it down $1.42 now, 5 now, 45. I'm at 42 and a half, 45. Get it down here to 5 now, 7 and a half, 45, 47 and a half. I'm at 45, 4,600. I'm at 600 now, 7. So 4,600. 141.
So Champion Pub was actually my target coming in here. It's probably the most requested game that we haven't put on the floor yet. Everything else we have or we've put on the floor so far. So not even that high. I mean, these prices are pretty good. 4,600 for a nice Champion Pub. I'm happy with the purchase. We're gonna take one pinball off here and we're gonna get playing for some of these late or early 90s Williams like Fishtails.
Got the fish on top. Hey, money dinner now, $4,000 down, $4,000 down, $4,000 down, $3,000 down, $4,000 to the hand, $32 to the hand, $3,000.
Okay, so that's not even a bad price for fishtails. I'm gonna be targeting coming up Whirlwind. I played it before we started. Felt pretty good. I'm also, I think I'm unfortunately gonna end up buying the Street Fighter 2 pinball. It's not a good pinball, but I've never seen one of this quality, and most of the ones that I've played, and even the ones that I've owned before, have been pretty kind of rough. So I'm pretty excited. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to whichever operator brought all these awesome pins, who's having to buy them back, because I know that that's just killer. Doing all the work to move all these pinballs, get them set up at an auction, and then just not have the buyers show up. And what everyone's blaming everything this weekend is there's a movie that just came out, Avengers, Endgame, and it just set every record that's ever existed. And we even had to run ads that just said, if you do one thing, go see that dumb movie. If you do two things, come to free play, because that's how just pervasive it is. And I guarantee there are people today missing this auction because they either spent their money going to the Avengers, their entertainment funds, or they're seeing it right now as we're recording this, because we're on the middle of a Saturday after the biggest movie ever has just come out. So you'll hear a lot of people talking about how this auction didn't have great attendance. That's pretty much it. I was late just for a soccer game, but most people I think are just out there seeing the Avengers. The story of my last Street Fighter 2, I paid $1,600 for it and could only sell it for, I think, $800 because it was so bad. It was rough, and I didn't really want to spend very much time because it wasn't fun playing. Oh, look, it's in our range. All right, hold on, these guys are going crazy. No, guys, hold on, slow down. Everyone stop. Everyone stop. Oh. Right here. I don't really want to buy this guy, so I'm kind of hoping he bids. Okay, I'm really pumped because I didn't really want to
Stop recording because Craig's coming up to talk to Corey right now. Hey, I just got to show you. That was my reserves I wanted on them. So, I mean, if you're interested, no fees.
Well, that's a good deal on the Hobbit. I just ordered two, but I mean.
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd show them to you.
All right, so I kind of bowed out of that Street Fighter 2. One of the things, when we first started doing pinball, we got to have a lot more fun. We could bring in games like Street Fighter 2 and no one would say anything, but on Street Fighter 2s, we can't do really bad pinball anymore because our pinballs are so good. There was just a Stern Pirates of the Caribbean that went for a really good price. I think it was $3,300, and it was in really good shape. The biggest downside of that game is Jersey Jack just released their Pirates of the Caribbean, exact same license, and most people are considering it one of the best new pinballs that's ever happened. And people are expecting it to stick around as a top 10. So if you put out a Stern Pirates of the Caribbean, you're feeling kind of silly right now because everyone actually just wants to play the Jersey Jack. All right, we're on Whirlwind now. I thought we were with me. I'll take it for $50.
So $3,000. $141.
Yep.
$141.
So Whirlwind's one of my all-time favorites. We've had one out on the floor for a number of days, or for a number of years, and it recently went down. That one played pretty well before. I think $3,000 is a pretty good price for a good Whirlwind. So I went for it just because it is one of my all-time greats, and I think even more than Fishtails, Whirlwind might be underrated in the pantheon of our pinball games. So Happy with the purchase. Right now they're on a Sorcerer. Sorcerer is generally considered one of the best pinballs that came from this era of solid state. Unfortunately, it's really rough and not working. And we have other great pinballs from that era that I will probably couldn't bid on that. But Sorcerer is an all-time classic, and I hope one day we're able to get one stable enough to bring out to the world.
Come from the same house, folks. They went completely birds up and sort of put on the way of the same cause. Get it down here, get it down here, now 57.50. Anybody else? 750? I've got 750, sir. 750. Sold it. 700, 141.
All right, I wasn't actually planning on buying those last two pinballs, but they were in conditions you don't normally see for a Gorgar or a Firepower. And we have been on a mission to get older pinballs out, and then the prices went really quite low, 1,100 or 1,150 and 800. Wow, that's pretty inexpensive for a good working solid state pinball right now. So super pumped that 4 pinballs. Definitely wasn't anticipating that. We're gonna have to figure out if we can fit it all in the truck, but great buys. All right, guys, we're signing off from Louisville, Texas. Ton of awesome action today. A little bit more condensed auction coverage due to me running a little late, but we'll be back here in August buying more games and putting it up on YouTube.